Hello students, today we'll discuss interference theory of forgetting. Forgetting occurs because memories interfere with and disrupt one another. So what do we mean by memories interfere with and disrupt? What kind of memories? We are talking about old and new memories. Old disrupt new and new disrupt old. For example, you all use the internet, you all do emails. For example, suppose you change your password of your email account that you had been using for so many years. Suppose you change. So what happens is when you type your new password, when you're going to do some email, when you type your new password, you accidentally tend to type your old password. So what is happening here? Old password is creating interference in the recall of new memories. So in this way, old is disrupting new. It happens with everyone. Now this can also happen other way around. So because you are using your new password for quite long time, after some time you realize that you forget your old password because you're not using it and you don't find any use of remembering it. So here new disrupts new memories. They are disrupting your old memories. Because of new you are forgetting old. In this way interference occurs. This is the process of interference. Interference is also thought to be more likely to occur where the memories are similar. Second point, for example, when students who are studying similar kind of subjects like French and Italian. These two languages are more or less similar. When they are studying these two kind of languages, interference is likely to occur because of the similarity. They tend to confuse with the vocabulary and the grammar of these two languages. So in this way, interference can also occur. These are the two very important points. Now we'll study proactive and retroactive interference. These are the two types of interference. I'll come to this image in the last. First is proactive interference. Proactive means forward. It occurs where old memories disrupt new memories. It occurs where past learning interferes with new learning. It occurs when you cannot learn a new task because of an old task, where old disrupt new, because old memories are often better rehearsed and they reside in our long-term memory. It is easier to recall previously learned information rather than more recent learning. This is the reason. For example, you have a particular habit of doing something. Now, if you try to change yourself or that habit, you find yourself in a tough position. You struggle with that because this is your proactive interference. Old is creating interference. Your past learning hinders new learning. For example, if you change a new house, you move to your new house, now you have your new address. Suppose you're filling some form, you're a student, you're filling out some form, and as you're going to join some university for higher studies, so what happens is you might find yourself accidentally writing your old address when filling out forms. The older memory of your previous address makes it more difficult to recall your new address. This is one of the example of proactive interference. This is proactive interference. Old is creating interference in our new memories. Why? Because of the competition between old and new memories. So this is proactive interference. Competition is there between old and new. Here old won. I mean, because they are so strongly, they reside in our long-term memory, so it's easier to recall old rather than new. In this way proactive interference occurs. Next is retroactive interference. Retro is backward. It occurs when later learning interferes with earlier learning. How it happens? We'll study one. This is a study by Underwood and Postman in the 1960 on retroactive inhibition. They take two groups, experimental and control. We know, as we are the students of psychology, experimental group and control group, they both have to remember a list of paired words like cat, tree, jelly, moss, paired words. The difference is that experimental group has to remember one more list, second list, and where the second paired word is different. Like in case of cat tree, they have cat grass. jelly moss, but they have jelly tractor. Likewise, second paired word was different, but control group was given only one list to remember. There was no second list in case of control group because they don't get any experimental treatment. Control group don't get experimental treatment. So what was the result? Result of control group was accurate than that of experimental group. Why? What is the reason? Because of the control group performed better because there was no second list, there was no interpolated activity, there was no secondary task. But in the case of experimental group, there was a secondary task. The second list, list B, that is interpolated activity, that particular task interfered with the recall of the first list. Moreover, it was similar. It was similar in nature. The material, the information was more or less similar. That's why interference occurred. That interpolated activity, that learning, it was unwanted. This was unwanted memory, so there was a competition. It occurs because of competition by unwanted memories. Our task was to recall list A. So list B, it interfered. The new associations, they compete with older one, and more recent the associations are, harder it is to forget. In this case, recent activities, interpolated activity, secondary task, it competes with original learning. That's why it hampers our task. So what we do between encoding and recall, what we do between learning and our recall, that particular activity. So when we fill the gap, between encoding and recall with other similar information, it has a negative impact on memory. That interpolated activity, if we fill the gap with that interpolated activity between encoding and recall. We fill the gap with that particular activity, and that particular activity, it hampers. It has a negative impact on memory. So this was the reason for the less better recall. This was the reason for the low performance of experimental group. So there is one more thing that is happening in retroactive inhibition is that is unlearning. What is unlearning? In this process, we learn. We not only learn something new, but we may unlearn old. For example, you get a new phone number. You might not be able to remember your old number because you are not using it anymore, and you don't find any use of knowing it or remembering it. So what happens is you are learning new, that is your new number. At the same time, you are unlearning old. You are unlearning your old number. So your new learning, it weakens your traces of old learning. Your older responses, they gradually become weaker and weaker till they altogether drop out. This is unlearning. This is also happening in retroactive inhibition. So now I come to this picture on retroactive interference and proactive interference. Uh, Here you see, and in this way we can revise what we have studied till now. Retroactive inhibition, experimental group, control group. There are two tasks, list A, list B, and they have to recall list A. So in this way we can see, in retroactive interference, we can see we have to recall list A, that is learn list of rivers. This is our task to recall. So what is happening in this list B, that is list of mountains, it is creating interference. That's why experimental group is not able to perform well because of interpolated activity. Second task, new is disrupting old, retroactive interference. And control group, they do not have second list to remember, so that's why they perform better. There is no interference by the second list. There is no interference. There is no competition. So they are performing well. Now in proactive interference, experimental and control group. They also have two tasks. Experimental group, list of rivers and list of mountains. So what is the task? The task is to remember list B, not A. Is list B. So here we see their performance. They're not able to perform well because of the interference by list A. List A, that is list of rivers, they're not able to perform well because old is interfering with new. Past learning is interfering with new learning. Experimental group performs less well on recalling list of mountains. Here old is disrupting new. This is proactive interference. Control group, they just have to one list, that is list of mountains. There is no old learning. So there is nothing to interfere with. That's where they perform well. Control group in proactive interference. So this is retroactive and proactive. When old disrupts new is your proactive, and new disrupts old, that is your retroactive interference. Okay, students. So this was your class, was your lecture on proactive and retroactive interference. This was your lecture on the theory of forgetting, interference theory of forgetting. Please go through it again and again. It's very important. Do well, students. Take care. Bye bye.